Hello, welcome to my channel. Good morning. Hello, wherever you are. You can probably hear I've just woken up. So today I'm going to be doing a look for a friend. This was a request. I do take requests sometimes. But today I'm going to be looking at Florence Welsh. So this is someone I've been very fascinated with for a while, actually. I've been thinking about her. I just find her so interesting. So first of all, if you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. And you know what? Even do one better. Leave a comment below. Let me know how you found this reading. And go through my channel and share some of my videos with your friends. Go and find their star sign and then send how to spot their sign to a friend. That's the best thing you could do for me because it creates engagement and it brings new people to my channel. So yeah, if you don't know, I am an astrologer. I am an artist, an author. I'm an occultist. And no, this is not a joke. No, it's not something that you would kind of see and glamorized on TV. This is the real thing. So if you don't know that, that means what it is that I conduct readings for people all around the world. They send in their birth chart, they send in their questions. Sometimes it's a psychic question, sometimes it is just a spiritual chat. Sometimes we just need a spiritual chat with someone like me. And so what I have a chat with you on the phone, or I will conduct a recorded reading for you and send you a link, and then you will get someone explaining your birth chart to you. So from time to time, I do these types of chats, and I have been meaning to look at her chart. And then my friend the other day was talking about Florence Welsh. She's just recently released a new song. You can probably go onto YouTube here and have a look and find it. It's quite fascinating, very, very witchy. If you're not familiar with Florence, I mean, even the name Florence, it just feels like flowers. It feels floral. It's like pink flowers and bunny rabbits and stuff. Like it's just so different. And I think that that's the beauty of Florence. So she is the lead singer from a very, very successful band. They make a lot of very, very interesting music. And yeah, she's been around for a while. She's a bit of a spiritualist, definitely on the witchy side, if you know what I mean, a bit of a gypsy spirit. They've had a lot of success in their music, in the releasing of their albums. I'm just bringing up her details here. So she was actually born Florence Leotone Mary Welsh, and she was born on the 28th of August in 1986. So I'm actually 1 year older than Florence, which is interesting because I always thought that Florence would be older than me. So it's interesting. I just think she's a really old soul. Beautiful, gorgeous soul, but it's like I don't see youth in her. I see more of like a wiser type of crone energy when I look at her. So I'm just bringing everything up because one of the things that I find fun and quite challenging to do, which is more of a challenge for me, is I don't have any prerequisite. I just bring everything up and I just say what I see, which is kind of makes it more interesting for me and as an astrologer. So she was born in Camberwell. Yes, she was in England, in London. She is British. Yes. Okay, so their first album that they released, Florence and the Machine, was in 2009. Some very, very successful tracks. I think that their music has become such a huge part of like pop culture and indie rock and boho fashion. It's very ethereal. Lots of occult references in her music. And I do remember buying the album, is it Ceremonials? I think that might have been the second album, but I'm not sure. Probably we'll look at the transits in her chart and see when she released them in terms of her returns. My favorite song actually is No Light, No Light. I also love Spectrum, Dog Days. There's so many smash hits that it's like you could just have like a Florence sound, like, do you have like a Florence playlist on your phone, on your iTunes or something? Like, because it's like you just don't get sick of hearing her. She's got such pure, raw joy, and it's slightly wacky. It's slightly like her energy to me is like slightly unhinged, but in a really good way. As an artist, myself, I find her so interesting. Sometimes when I'm allowed to, and I've got time and I'm not working like a fucking slave, I'm able to indulge in making art myself. It's a real pleasure to me to have a cup of tea and the afternoon sun's coming through the window and I'm in my little space, and I will put on interviews from other artists that, recording artists or visual artists, or documentaries. I'm always listening to things in the background when my brain's like ticking over. And I have in the past actually listened to a lot of interviews with Florence Welsh. And I just find the way that she talks, she's so elegant and awkward, I think, a little bit. And I think the first thing that came to my head is she's got to she's got to have some Scorpio in her chart, or she's definitely got to have some fucking zany Aquarius stuff going on in her chart, or maybe like a lot of 12th house stuff. Like, I think a lot of artists, a lot of spiritualists, we all have a lot of 12th house placements. I'm a 12th houser, I've got a lot of that in me. So yes, it's a lot. But it's the other world, it's going into the other world. He wants to be here, let's go into a different fucking dimension, babe. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get into it. Let's stop fucking around. All right, so birth chart, Florence Welsh, 28th, yes, of the 8th. All right, so that will give her a sun in Virgo. Interesting. She's got her ascending, the lens that she sees the world through is also in a Virgo. Interesting. Her moon is in Gemini. Wow. Okay. I love me a good moon in Gemini. Oh my God. I'm going to talk to you about that. Mercury is in Leo. Her Venus is in, her Venus is just sitting beautifully in Libra. This is a beautiful chart. This is straight up. This is a gorgeous. I look at charts all day and I know it's quite fucked, but when I look at it, and I can tell you, it's a very harmonic. There's no agitation here. This is a beautiful, gorgeous chart, okay? It's making a beautiful human. It's like Build-A-Bear. It's what astrology kind of is. Her Mars is sitting in Capricorn. Okay, interesting. Jupiter in Pisces. Okay. All right, so she's expanding through other realms. Her Jupiter, her expansion sits in the 12th house. Beautiful. I wonder how she goes with boundaries. All right, so let's have a look and see what I see. Let's start to channel and tune in. Well, the first thing that I'm getting with her is that she's a creative person. She's got this myopic energy. Virgo sun people, and it's doubling up with it ascending in Virgo. I think it's this kind of itch that she has to scratch. To me, when I see people with sun Virgo, ascending Virgo, and then we'd see anything else sitting in an air energy in her moon, that's tricky because moon energy is emotions. So it's like she has a very, very strong way of carefully dissecting emotions in a very intellectual way. So that's what she does. All right, I just want to see, we'll have a look and see where these houses are playing out. But the first thing that's coming through is that she's very myopic. All right, so myopic is like Virgo people they're completely messy, but they can also be very clean in other ways. Okay, so if you went to her house, it might even be like a complete bomb has hit it. They're maximalists. All right, this is screaming to me maximalist. She's not a minimalist. Like if you went to her house, Florence would have all types of weird shit. She'd have probably a little bit of Virgo people, taxidermed stuff, crystals, trinkets, golds, broken plates with little mermaids on them, and just like dried flowers hung upside down, Hestia, the goddess of the hearth, that type of thing. She's wacky. She's absolutely beautifully batshit crazy and fabulous. Her moon in Gemini is also what she'll do there is play with a lot of identities. So as she's kind of unpacking herself and finding out who she is, it's like she's expanding herself and she's destroying herself. That's what her moon in Gemini is doing. So when moon in Gemini people will take on personas of things around them as they mirror the external world. So, there was a photo that popped up on her Instagram. I think I follow her on Instagram, where she was like in her bathtub at her home in a mermaid tail with a cup of tea. That it's just brilliant, and then because it's devoid of reality on such a beautiful way. And that's what, double Virgo placements will do that. They'll put themselves in a castle and they'll send out invites to people to come and have a tea party, to come and have some high tea and some cake, but you have to dress up as a character. She loves playing in character, in dressing up. That's what's coming in through, right? So, and in magical creatures, she is really this lost inner child. And I see that's playing out in her Mercury sitting in Leo is at an anaretic degree, very high. So she's got this need to be seen. It's like she's got this need to show the world all these different explosions of who she is. It's like she's making a commentary on herself as an artist. She's needing attention, and then she projects that backwards into the world. So this is someone that would need a lot of a time alone and it's absolute solitude. Her Mars in Capricorn is a very strong work ethic. So a lot of her productivity is all connected to her self-worth. So if she isn't creating something or working on something, that Gemini moon is going to lose its fucking mind. So it's like with her Mercury in Leo, how she communicates is very regal. That's where she's got that Mercury. I would say she's a Mercury. Looking at the chart, she's got Mercury, her Mercury in Leo is so high, it's like I see her Mercury in Leo dominating the way that she communicates. So she's got this thing where she demands, attention, she demands a presence, but then she gives it back to the people. So it's like she's kind of healing people because her sun in Virgo, playing out with her ascending, is that she heals through her music. That's really interesting. It's like, she's like a healer. I don't see this chart as it's not giving me mother vibes in terms of her having a child. It's more about her way of seeing the world is Jupiter in Pisces, is that she expands there through being a mother to others. All right. So very interesting. I'm also getting a little bit of like neural divergent or like almost like autism a little bit. I do see that sometimes with this type of chart. So I have clients that have come to me and I've said that about them in the reading and they've written back in saying, I am actually on the autistic scale. So, she's on some level of sometimes social cues won't work on her. She's a bit aloof. This is the person that you might text at a party and, swap numbers kind of thing, and she won't message you back. And it's not because she doesn't know how to do that. It's just that she's just, she's a 12th houser. She's off in the other realms. She doesn't mean to, but she's got this aloofness to her. Her Venus is sitting beautifully in Libra. So she loves beauty. She loves the natural world, like doll houses as well, pretty dresses, pretty things, she likes all the pretty things, magical things. She's like lots of house, like if I went to her house, she'd have lots of like indoor plants and it's just completely littered with like sculptures and things that she's made. She's the artist, she is the artist. I think from one of my interviews that I was listening to the other day, was that she was, before she was a recording artist and a musician, she was like in a TAFE or like at a university, and she was working on making little dollhouse sets where she'd like build a little person, very myopic stuff, where that's her Virgo rising. And then she'd put that little person inside a little dollhouse, like kind of making a commentary on the world through controlling it in this thing that she's building. And that's what an artist does. It's about showing the world itself back to itself. So it would make sense that she was doing that before she started making art. It's slightly creepy. The Virgo thing is when they feel out of control internally, they try and control the external projection that they have on others. So in some cases, this can actually be quite dark. But for her, it's like she's got a lot of light. Her Leo in Mercury is that she projects things outwards and takes her pain and then makes something with it. So it's really beautiful. I just get lots of like wallpapers around her. All right, so let's have a look at, I don't know what she's collecting, but she'd definitely be collecting something. All right, let's have a look and see what's happening. Where else is everything sitting? So her sun is in Virgo, and it's in the 12th house. Yeah, of course it is. It's all in the 12th house. Oh my God, she's in the other realms. This is the person that is not like its boundaries. And so her 12th house sun is like she'll meet someone that she falls completely in love with, and then she's going to go off into the other realms. She'll go to a party and walk outside of the party and then lay on the ground and roll in the dirt. It's just otherworldly stuff. Spiritual mediumship happens. And I think a lot of her concerts are very spiritual. The 12th house is animals. It's the spiritual world. It's a shamaness. She just wants to live in this place of imagination. All right. There's a little bit of like red flags around this for me. I mean, if she's surrounded by people that can control her narrative about how the world really looks, this can be quite dangerous. She could be a little bit gullible. Someone could say that they have her best interests at heart, but really they kind of don't. They just want to use her to make money. But yeah, 12th house in Virgo to me is a healer. So it's like she likes the glam, but she really prefers to be one-on-one with someone, so she can take on a public persona, but ultimately she's going to need a lot of time alone, just in her house, just to think. She'll like get a tune in her head and then sit in the bathtub and work on that tune. Her moon in Gemini can't be disturbed. So she's got a lot of different like song ideas or a lot of like melodies that she's worked on. She's a lunar Gemini. So, she'll just be very much at home in her space. Her moon is in the 10th house. So she will be a little bit like, and it's actually squaring against her 4th. So it looks like, I think she still lives with her mum. So she still lives with her mum. I think that's where she is still living. So she might have other houses, but it's like she prefers to just go home and be with her mum a lot of the time. Interesting. There's a lot of emotional upheaval happening in the womb with her mother. Interesting. She's got a trine between her Venus and her moon. So she's very soft, very imaginative, very sympathetic. And I think that can be quite exploited by people as well, like even for relationships. She could be a good mediator if she wants to be. But sometimes it's like she can't make up her mind on who she, where she sits. She's a bit like she feels terrible for the things that are happening in the world, but she doesn't want to like comment overly on something because it's like, the Libra Venus in her, and, Libra Venus people will have a problem where they feel very bad for what's happening, like, free Palestine, but then at the same time, they'll see other parts of the world like the Congo or something and be like, if I comment on this, then I have to comment on that. And so there's a bit of, she can't be at two places at the same time kind of thing. All right, let's have a look and see. Her Mercury is in Leo. So yeah, at the bottom of her heart, she just has to project all of this, energy. She's got all of this stuff that she has to get out of her. And it's like she takes her pain and she works through her pain very distinctively. And then she kind of pours it out into the world. If she couldn't make art, she would feel so useless. That's sitting in the 5th house. So it's like she has to like break herself down, break her own heart, and then she's got to pour the blood of her heart out, and I think that we see that in a lot of her music, and that really, it's like when she does that to other people or for the public, it's like she encourages others to do the same thing. Yeah, so boundaries for her are going to be an issue. Boundary. I love me a good boundary. Like I mean, yeah, she can't be in relationships with people that are going to exploit her. She's got to get her shit together. One of the things here is that she's going to have to learn how to learn boundaries. She can't be letting people, like if people treat her like shit, if they don't, you give them the same energy that they give you, that type of thing. Her Pluto sitting in Scorpio, we all have that placement. Anyone born around 1985, 86, 84, it's all going to be a Pluto in Scorpio. And that's that, Pluto is like ripping right up through the asshole of all those little babies that were incarnating around that time. Oh my God. I think she might actually have some secret marriages or even secret relationships that are going on with her as well. Her Pluto in Scorpio is secretive, so she's very guarded, I see, around that aspect of her heart. Boundaries. I mean, it's just all about boundaries. She's been burned a few times, but she's learning. I mean, she's better at it now, but it's almost like she needs a break, like a little bit like Taylor Swift. It's like she needs a breakdown, like a mental breakdown to project her energy outwards. It's like, please break up with me. Please treat me like shit so I can make art. It's like, she's really subscribed to that narrative, hasn't she? About like the artist being tortured, This is extreme. Like, and with that Virgo double up, it's like she might even be prone to an eating disorder or like very anemic. A lot of Virgo double ups, Sun and Rising, will do that. So yeah, I mean, it's like she tortures herself for the art. But the thing about it is that she's softened. She's got this softer side to her where she's trying to not be judgmental. And that's her Mercury in Leo. Yeah, it's a thing. Her Mars is in the 4th house, which we looked at. So, I mean, it's a relationship with her mum. It's a relationship with her family. And that 4th house is ruled by Cancer. So she can be a bit moody, a bit prone to mood swings. Definitely should be staying away from drugs and alcohol. Pisces in Jupiter, absolutely stay away from those drugs. They are not good for you. Maybe she experimented when she was younger, but I just don't think that, drugs would be a good idea for her because she's already so like in the other realm kind of thing. Saturn in Sagittarius is interesting. It's like she has a very unique way of thinking. Saturn in Sagittarius in terms of a musical artist is someone that could hear a sound on the radio or even bang things together and make sounds and then come back and unpack that because it's sitting in the 3rd house. It's in the Gemini. So it's very much like taking something very small and then kind of dismantling it a little bit, finding something within it and then tweaking it and making something out of it. She's got an opposition between her Saturn and her midheaven. Let's just have a look and see where her midheaven was sitting. So midheaven is in Taurus, which is interesting. So, I mean, at the end of the day, she won't be good with money. She probably needs someone to manage all the money and make sure she's making financial decisions that are good. She's more in the artist Virgo than she is, the Virgo that wants to work as an accountant. But her 10th house is sitting, strongly in her midheaven, which is in Taurus. I mean, so she's very hardworking. When she's in work mode, she's out on tour, she's doing her thing. She's in the van, she's working on new songs while she's on tour. But yeah, I mean, when she's home, Taurus midheaven people can lack a lot of motivation. So it's like she'll go on tour and then she'll come back and completely unplug. Midheaven Taurus in the Capricorn in the 10th house. I've also seen people, I mean, where was her? Because I think she had her Mars in Capricorn. Let's just double check. Yeah, Mars in Capricorn. So, I mean, she'd probably have times where she wouldn't even have a phone. She'd probably throw the phone out the window. She's like, I don't want to be contacted by somebody. I want to live life. I'm going down to the river in my white dress. It's like, This is tricky. Like looking at her chart, she's got all of this love to give, but it's like someone, loving her is really tricky. She's not easy to love. This is not an easy person to understand. Her Chiron, where is her wound? All right, so, oh wow, her wound is in Gemini. That would make sense. So she's got this, her insecurities and her pain comes from not being understood. She's got lots of like ideas that are all just popping off in her head. A lot of these ideas are like sparks, and they need to spark on things. I've got my wound in Gemini, my Chiron is in Gemini, so it's not being understood. It's a tricky one. It's her also dealing with multiple personalities. I don't have multiple personality disorder, but it's a person that has a lot of very chatty internal dialogue that can be a challenge for her. This can be a problem. So her learning to control the inner chatter is going to be a big part of her journey in her life. And then trying to blend that with communication to others where others can understand her. That's where her pain is. That's her Chiron. Yeah. It's a good thing because her Chiron is in harmony with other aspects of her chart. So her Chiron is in harmony with her Pisces. So it's like the more that she tours, the more art that she makes, the more that she's out of the house. It's like she brings so much light into the world. And it's a happy thing. Like when she has concerts, they're spiritual, they're happy. She's got that performer side to her, but when people come to her show, she wants them to let rip and have a really good time and just get them out of hell, get them into a place that makes them feel happy. It's like she sacrifices her own happiness for her projection. Interesting. I think that in time, what will probably happen is she won't make art unless it feels authentic to her, unless Florence is Florencing, it's like, even the term, I'm just thinking now, Florence and the machine, it's like she's the Florence and the machine is what? Capitalism. The machine is what? The band. The machine is like what? The thing that, the conveyor belt, you've got this floral explosion of pink roses and butterflies and, sending invites out to people to come to her house for a tea party. And then you've got this other aspect, which is like cold, hard asphalt, like a concrete. Like, so yeah, is that a play on her Mars in Capricorn? Don't know. It's interesting. I think in time, what we're going to see with her is like, I get like Grey Garden vibes. So she's going to be a little bit like, if you know Grey Garden, I think it was that, maybe it was based on a book or something, or like Edie Darling, living in this big castle, this fabulous house. And it's derelict. It goes to a place where the delusion and the madness goes so far that the house is full of cats and, it's not kept. She could run a risk of going too far into this self-indulgent 12th house stuff. And, there's like cat shit on the floor and there's like broken cups and, she'll stand on the dinner table and sing and get on the piano and yeah, it's really chaotic, but ultimately what she'll probably get is like she'll settle down. But yeah, it's definitely like lots of vintage and clothes. I'm not sure if she's got her own fashion line. A Libra in Venus usually goes for fashion. So, if it's not making dresses or working with people that make material and make like anything that can express itself. But yeah, having such a high Mercury in Leo is that part of her, the way that she dresses and the way that she conducts herself with on stage it's all a part of this character that she's built in this projection. So it's like, those like cuffs that like hang out kind of like a pirate. And then she's got the earth child aspect to her is like getting around on stage barefoot. So it's just so interesting. But yeah, she's got a lot of personal placement. So it's like, that's why when we hear her music, it's like it's raw, it's depressing, but it's beautiful, and it's a commentary on the world, and that's really what she does. Her life path is number 6, which is interesting. So introspection. And yeah, it's like, to me, life path 6 is also connected to Scorpio. So very, deep, dark. Her relationship with the spiritual world is going to kind of override sometimes her relationship with just being here. So she'll go, it's like getting in a floral bed or a floral bathtub and having tea, and it's just it's really fucking awesome. Okay, let's continue having a look. Her Lilith is also sitting in the Gemini as well. Lilith to me is what undoes things. It reverses things. So I hope she's not backtracking. It's like the battle that she's going to have the most in this life is going to be within herself, within her mind. A Virgo sun and a Gemini moon, it's not squared, but there is an internal struggle that is going to be happening with her between her head and her mind all throughout her life. Neptune in Capricorn is quite low. But the thing is with her Uranus sitting in Sagittarius is that the more that people, or the more that things around her push her down, it's like she wants to push the edge. She wants to break through. And I think we see that with her performances. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if she did acting. It's like whatever limitation is placed on her, and if it's in Sagittarius under Saturn, Saturn deals in limitations and putting lids on things. It's like she pushes and pushes and pushes until she breaks through. That's what turns her on. So Saturn in Sagittarius as an artist is someone that makes art that looks good to them. So she loves to share her art, but ultimately, to me, there'd be lots and lots of songs that she's made, or lots of lyrics and like diarising and writing things down. Like, she's a poet at heart. Virgo sun ascending Virgo is a poet. So lots of like ideas for new songs in a diary. So she must diarise everything, or she records things. That's her process. It's very neurotic, but it gets the job done, and because she's got her Mars in Capricorn, when she starts a song or she starts something, she sees it all the way through. So yeah, it's so fucking awesome. I'm just loving this. Very witchy. I think there's an aspect here where she might go into the dark feminine a little bit. And, we definitely see a lot of that, in her recent work, where it's like the scorned woman, getting revenge, a little bit like, the dark feminine sometimes can be twisted a little bit. It can be a little bit man-hating. It can be a little bit, defiant. I think the latest song that she released, I think it's Everybody Scream, which is like, yeah, letting go of pain. It's like, to her, it's quite satisfying, but it's like letting something out of yourself. And I think at this point in the world, it's such an inflammatory time. It's like, is she saying scream? Is this a political thing? Everybody scream. Get out all of that angst and fury and despair. And yeah, it's a lot. Everybody scream. So yes, I'm getting, is it Sephoria? Not Sephoria. What's it called? What's that movie? If you know the one I'm thinking. I think it might be Suspiria. Is it? With like the witches. They're in like the ballet school. Oh my God, that was such a good movie. Have you seen it? Have you guys seen that film? And Tilda Swinton, I think she did 3 different characters in that movie. Just the end of that film was so well done. I think that the play on the visuals of her latest release, Scream, is very much like a nod to Suspiria. Sorry, that's what it's called. Suspiria. I just looked it up. Yeah, it's like Suspiria. It's like she's watched that movie and built a song or built this expression around that. It's interesting, the color dress where she's wearing red as well. Anyway, I could go on and on and on, but I think that this might be enough. I've just had a bit of a look at her chart. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you would like me to rip through your chart and send in some questions, a lot of people are messaging me back saying, hey, can you do my mum's chart? Can you look at my sister's chart? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Just send it all through. Send in the questions, send in the photos. I'll channel, I'll look at what I see, and yeah, you'll get a bit of a dive. But this is what I do. I love doing this. It's nice to do this from time to time. Florence Welsh, what an interesting person. I'm quite shocked there wasn't a lot of Aquarian going on in her. But yeah, I mean, she's a strange, magical, mermaid, witchy Virgo, mother. I love the dresses. All right, lots and lots of love. I hope you've enjoyed. Leave a comment below, and I am having 25% off my 30-minute natal chart reading reports. So go in, make a booking, send in the email, and I can't wait to look at your chart. Okay, bye.